The story begins with the memories of the aviator, a character from whose point of view the action. It is about a character who, since he was a child, has felt that he does not fit in with the formal and pragmatic world that adults have created. His points of view are different, where he saw an elephant instead a snake. The other saw a hat. As an adult, the aviator prefers to take long flights by plane before the company of his contemporaries. During one of the flights, his plane breaks down and he is forced to descend into the Sahara Desert, in which he meets the Little Prince. The Little Prince is a boy who looks 8 years old, blonde and dressed in his own clothes rank. As soon as he befriends the aviator, he asks him to find a lamb for him. Doubting their qualities as a draftsman, the aviator draws the elephant within the serpent of his childhood, which is recognized by the Little Prince, who insists that he draw a picture of a lamb for him. After some vain attempts, the aviator draws a box with holes, indicating to the Little Prince that the lamb is from his seed. The little Prince approves the drawing and keeps it. During the time it takes the aviator to repair his plane, he receives visits from the Little Prince, who reveals that he comes from another planet which he describes as very small. The planet of the Little Prince is identified by the aviator as the asteroid. It specifies that this data is aimed at the elderly who understand things from the figures. With the mentioning the number of the asteroid, the aviator considers that he complies with demonstrating the truth of his existence. The Little Prince tells the aviator that Baobabs grow on his planet a tree that on here reaches colossal proportions, but which on the planet of the Little Prince are nothing but mere strawberry. The Little Prince too reveals what he needs the lamb for to hit the leaves of the tree that they do not destroy his planet. So the aviator recalls other aspects of the Little Prince's personality, including his loneliness, his melancholy, and his love to see sunsets, especially when he feels sad. The Little Prince expresses his concern about what the lambs eat, about all you want to know if in addition to bushes they can eat flowers. The aviator responds with annoyance to these questions, given that he is busy with the task of repairing his plane. The Little Prince then reproaches him for being like other people for his lack of interest in the destiny of flowers and their relation with lambs. The Little Prince culminates in tears. The Little Prince reveals to the aviator that a very special, very beautiful flower existed on his planet, but at the same time vain and proud. The flower awakens the naive love of the Little Prince, but at the same time confuses you. The love of the Little Prince for the flower is filled with doubts. The Little Prince decides to live at his planet and decided to take advantage of the flight of a flock of birds to leave your world. Before leaving, he cleans the volcanoes, prunes the baobabs, and says goodbye to the flower, which tells him that he loves him and apologizes for not making himself understood while writing him Little Prince to have been as foolish as he. The flower urges the Little Prince to leave without saying his why. The Little Prince begins a hornet through other asteroids the first to visit it and visited by a king who appears to have read power but who at the same time evidence lacking subject. To exercise it, he asked the little prince to stay with him, but the little prince decided to continue his trip. The second planet that the little prince visits was inhabited by a being whose only wish is let them acclaim and admire him. The little prince, before leaving him, asked him what it is for him to admire without getting an answer. The next planet visited by the little prince was inhabited by a drinker, a drunk who drinks to forget that he is ashamed to drink, which leaves the little prince perplexed. The little prince then visits a planet inhabited by a businessman who traffics in stars. He counts them, records them, in short, he owns them. The little prince rebukes him that it is not of any utility to the stars, leaving the businessman puzzled. The next planet was inhabited by a lamplighter and his lantern, which he turned on out of quickly. Since planet was spinning very fast, the little prince leaves him with a certain regret, because he likes the man who fulfills his duty without question and at the same time regrets missing the successive sunsets that occur in that world. The sixth planet was inhabited by a great pair surrounded by maps and books. Confused, the little prince with an explorer and asked him for news and detail of his world. When talking about the flower, the explorer informs him that flowers are ephemeral, that is, they are destined to disappear, which awakens remorse in the little prince for having left her alone. The little prince finally arrives on here, a planet of which is large number of inhabitants and the synchronized act of lamplighters around the world, busy turning the lights on and off lanterns from all continents. Some details are more about the number of inhabitants of the earth which can actually fit all one Islam. The little prince wonders about the people since he has fallen in Africa, where he encounters a snake that speaks in enigmas, clarifying to the little prince that despite his appearance, it is more powerful than a king's finger and it can help you head back to your planet. The little prince finds a solitary flower, which he asks about men. The flower in all its life he has not seen more than 6 or 7 and considers that men life annoyed by not having a state. The little prince climbs a great common mountain and discovers the age which leads him to reflect on the lack of originality of man. The little prince finally brought to a pot next to a garden full of roses, then discovered that the flower that he left on his planet was not a single flower, but one more of the many roses that exist. This is saddens a lot. At last he meets a fox who is also looking for a friend against the worm. Them that is someone with whom to form a bond of friendship. They both become friends, and in this process, the little prince will discover what really made his flower special. He fox and the little prince separated after the fox reveals his secret. He only looks what with him heart. The essential is invisible to the eye. Continuing on his way, the little prince meets a road guard, who explains his work consisting of roping passengers and boarding them on trains. The guardian ignores the reasons they lead people to move from one place to another so quickly. The little prince meets a merchant, a seller of pills that prevent tears. This provides extra time that from the little prince's point of view could we be spent on go to a fountain to drink. The aviator who has not been able to repair his plane. The little prince that if they don't get water, they will die of thirst. The little prince replies that it is good to have a hard friend, even if he is going to die. They both start looking for a wheel. The little prince falls asleep thinking about his flower while the aviator decides to carry him in his arms until they manage to find a wheel. The little prince and the aviator satisfy their thirst as they talk about how strange the means. The little prince laughs when he sees the drawings that the aviator has made and remembers that he is about 1 year from his arrival on Earth. The aviator leaves the little prince as he must repair his plane.